You wake up and you already know. Today is not like the other days. Something in the air is different, heavier, stale, pressing down on your chest like a hand that won't let go. You can't name it yet. You don't want to name it. But your body already knows. Your hands are trembling before you've even opened your eyes. The ceiling above you is the same one you've stared at for months. Cracked concrete, a single bulb behind a metal grate, already buzzing. You count the cracks some mornings. Today you don't count anything. You sit up slowly. The metal of the bed frame bites into your palms. Cold. Always cold in here, no matter the season. You never learned why. You stopped asking. The smell hits you the way it always does. Rust, old sweat, something chemical underneath. You've gotten used to it. That's the worst part. You've gotten used to all of it. Someone coughs 2 cells down. The sound bounces off stone walls and disappears into nothing, just like everything in here. Disappears into nothing. You swing your feet to the floor. The concrete is ice against your skin. You breathe once, twice, and then you remember what day it is. Your mouth goes dry. You press your hands flat on your knees and you stare at the door. That heavy iron door, and you wait for it to open. The way you've waited 100 times before. Except today, when it opens, everything changes. Today is the hearing. Today, they decide. They don't come at the usual time. Breakfast passes. Without anyone speaking to you, the guard slides the tray through the slot in the door. Beans, a piece of bread that's gone grey at the edges, water that tastes like metal. You don't eat. You watch the tray go cold. An hour goes by. Maybe more. Time moves strangely here. It stretches out in front of you like a road that leads nowhere, and then suddenly it collapses, and you can't tell if it's been 20 minutes or 3 hours. You hear voices in the corridor, not the usual voices. These are quieter, deliberate, like people who are talking about something they don't want you to hear. You press yourself against the door. You press your ear to the cold iron. You can hear your own heartbeat louder than anything they're saying. One word reaches you through the metal, transfer, and then nothing. Footsteps walking away. The corridor going quiet again. Just that buzzing light bulb. Just that single, awful word hanging in the air of your cell like smoke. Transfer. You don't know what it means yet, but you know it doesn't mean good. You sit back down on the bed, you fold your hands, you try to breathe slowly, you fail. When they finally come for you, there are 3 of them. 3, not 1, the way it usually is for routine. Not 2, the way it is for meals. 3, the way it is for something that matters. They don't look at you when they open the door. That's how you know it's serious. The ones who look at you, even the hard ones, still have something human left in them when they look at you. These 3 stare past you, through you. They cuff your hands in front of you. The metal clicks tight around your wrists. You walk. The corridor is longer than you remember, or maybe today every step feels heavier. Your shoes scrape against the stone floor and the sound echoes around you, and you think how strange it is that in a place this loud, metal doors, shouting somewhere distant, the constant hum of industrial pipes. You have never felt more alone than you do right now, walking between these 3 men who won't look at you. There you pass a window, just a slit in the wall, barely wider than your hand, but light is coming through it. Real light. Pale yellow, watery, the kind that means it's morning outside. Somewhere out there, people are getting into their cars, stopping at a cafe, complaining about traffic. Somewhere out there, the world is just continuing, indifferent, ordinary, free. You stop walking for 1 second to look at that light. A hand grips your arm. You keep moving. The room is smaller than you imagined. You don't know why you imagined something grand. Courts are supposed to be grand. High ceilings, dark wood, the weight of justice visible in the architecture. This room is a box. Fluorescent lights that flicker at the edges, a folding table, 3 chairs on one side, 1 on yours. They sit across from you, 3 people. A man in a grey suit who doesn't introduce himself. A woman with reading glasses pushed up on her forehead who is already looking at a file, your file, without any visible emotion. A third man, younger, who keeps clicking his pen. Click, click, click. You will hear that sound in your sleep for years. Someone pushes a paper across the table toward you. You look down at it. Words, dates, your name, printed at the top in bold letters, as if to remind you, as if you could ever forget, that this is about you. That you are the subject here. That you are the case. That you are the number at the top of the page. The man in grey begins to speak. His voice is flat, professional. He uses words that feel designed to say nothing clearly, terms that sound like they mean something, but that slide off the surface of understanding like water off glass. You try to follow. You grip the edge of the table. Your knuckles go white. Your attorney, the one who was supposed to be here, who promised he would be here, is not here. The seat beside you is empty. The pen clicks again. Click, click. And then the woman takes off her glasses and looks at you. Directly. For the first time, someone in this room looks at you like you are a person, but her expression doesn't give you hope. It gives you something worse. It gives you pity. He says the words. And there is a moment, a very strange, very specific moment, where the sound just stops. Not because the room has gone quiet, because your brain has decided it can't process what it just heard. It shuts down, the way a circuit trips when too much current runs through it. Just for a second, maybe two, and in that silence you hear everything that isn't the verdict. You hear the air conditioning unit rattling in the corner. You hear your own breathing, too fast now, too shallow. You hear the pen stop clicking. Then the sound rushes back in like water through a broken door. Denied. The word sits in the room like a stone dropped in still water, ripples going outward from it, touching everything. Denied. Appeal denied. Transfer denied. The date extended. The process continuing. You are to return to your cell. You are to wait for further notice. You don't hear the rest. Something in your chest collapses, not dramatically, not the way it happens in films where someone breaks down crying or tips the table or shouts. Quietly, like a wall giving way in the dark where no one can see it. Like something you'd been holding together with your bare hands for months, finally falling through your fingers. You nod. You don't know why you nod. Some part of you has been trained to respond correctly even when you're dying inside. They stand up. The meeting is over. You are still sitting. The walk back is different from the walk there. On the way there you were afraid of what might happen. On the way back you carry what did happen. These are very different weights. Fear is sharp and forward-facing. This, what you're carrying now, is dull and old and wide. It fills your whole body the way cold water fills a room. You pass the same window. The light is different now, higher in the sky, more direct, no longer that soft morning. Yellow. You don't stop this time. You don't want to look at it. The guard who's closest to you says something as you walk. You don't catch it. You look up. He's not looking at you when he says it. He's looking straight ahead. But you think, maybe, that it was meant to be kind. Some small, quiet human thing from a man doing a difficult job in a difficult place. You don't respond. You don't know how. You think about the people waiting for you outside. Not outside this building. Outside this life. The ones who write letters that arrive late and smell of home and something you can't identify until you realize it's just the smell of outside, of ordinary air, of places that aren't this place. You think about what you'll write them tonight. You don't know what you'll say. You think maybe you'll say nothing, that you'll fold a blank piece of paper into an envelope and send that instead. They'll understand. The ones who know you will understand. They close the door behind you. The sound of it, that specific final sound of iron meeting iron, used to bother you. Every time for the first few weeks it felt like something ending, like a sentence with a period at the end, definitive, over. You've heard it hundreds of times now. You've tried to get used to it. Today it sounds like it did the very first time. You sit on the bed. You don't lie down. You sit with your hands between your knees and you look at the floor. There's a crack in the concrete that runs from the wall almost to the drain in the corner. You've traced it 1,000 times with your eyes. You know exactly where it branches, where it narrows, where it just stops. You know this crack better than you know some people you love. That thought almost makes you laugh. Almost. You think about the version of yourself that existed before this place, the person who drove a car, who chose what to eat, who argued about small, stupid things that don't matter, who walked somewhere, anywhere, unusual, without permission. You think about that person the way you'd think about a photograph of someone who died young, with something that is grief, and something that is love, and something that is a kind of disbelief that it was ever real. You press your palms together. You press so hard your fingers go white at the tips, and then, quietly, privately, in the only space in this whole place that belongs to you, you let yourself fall apart. Not loudly, not visibly, just the inside of you, cracking, like ice under weight, slowly, thoroughly. No one sees, no one hears. That's the cruelest part. Not even this moment is witnessed. You think about what this place has done to time, not just your time, to time itself, to the concept of it. Out there, time is a river. People step in and out of it, complain it moves too fast or too slow, try to manage it, waste it, save it. In here, time is a room. You are in the room. The room doesn't change. The time doesn't move. You move inside it, and that's all. You think about what it means to wait for someone else to decide your life. Not a small decision, what to have for dinner, whether to take the job. Your life, the whole shape and direction and duration of it, in the hands of 3 people behind a table who don't know your name, who call you a number, who looked at a file and saw something you wouldn't recognize as yourself. How do you survive that? How does anyone survive that? And the answer comes slowly, the way things that are true usually come, not fast and bright, but quiet and certain, the way dawn comes without announcement. You survive it because you have to, because the alternative is not surviving it, and somewhere in the part of you that is still the person you were before, the person who drove and chose and argued about small things, there is a refusal, quiet, stubborn, without a name. A refusal to be only this, to end here, to become nothing but a crack in the concrete and a number on a file. You breathe in. You breathe out. The bulb buzzes. Tomorrow the crack in the floor will be the same. The cold will be the same. The tray will be the same. But you will still be here, and there is something small and difficult and real in that. Night comes. In here, you know it by the sound. The shift change, the distant clanging of another block going to lockdown, the light outside the slit window turning from grey to black, the building settling into itself the way old buildings do, like a body, exhaling. You lie back, you stare at the ceiling, the cracked concrete, the buzzing bulb behind its metal grate. You think about the verdict the way you'll think about it for weeks, turning it over, looking at it from every angle, trying to find the part of it that you can change, the part of it that leaves a door open somewhere. You will think about it until it becomes just another thing you carry, just another weight that, over time, becomes normal, becomes yours. And in the space between waking and sleep, you have one thought that will stay with you longer than any other, that the most dangerous thing a place like this can do to you is not break you, it's make you stop believing you could have been otherwise. The light buzzes. The building breathes. And somewhere outside, somewhere past the concrete and the iron and the cold, the world keeps going without you. The way it always has. The way it always will. Until the day it doesn't. If you made it to the end of this, you didn't just watch a video. You lived a moment that millions of real people have lived and are living right now. Comment, "I would survive," below. Or just sit with the silence for a second. Maybe that's enough. Because the real question isn't whether you'd survive the verdict. The real question is, would you still know who you were when it was over?